You keep saying one day. That day is killing you. You keep saying one day, and every time you say it, that day takes another piece of your life. Right now, as you're listening, time is moving without permission, that it's not waiting for your confidence, that it's not waiting for your plan, that it's not waiting for you to feel ready. And if you click away from this, you'll prove exactly why your life still looks the same. Pause, because this isn't motivation. This is a verdict. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. And today I'm not here to inspire you, that I'm here to expose you. Part 1. One day is a lie you tell yourself. One day I'll start. One day I'll change. One day I'll lock in. No, you won't. Because if you were serious, you wouldn't keep pushing your life into the future. One day is what scared people say to avoid admitting they're comfortable being mediocre. One day is a delay tactic, a soft excuse that a quiet surrender. You don't have a time problem. You have a decision problem. You wake up every day with the same habits, same phone, same comfort, same laziness dressed up as planning. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Let me say this slow. Nothing is coming to save you. An oh moment, an oh sign, an oh perfect opportunity. Life already knocked. You ignored it. Part 2. You're not confused. You're addicted to them for stop lying and saying you're lost, that you're not lost, that you're comfortable. Comfort is killing your urgency. Comfort is numbing your hunger. Comfort is making you soft while the world stays hard. You don't fail because you can't. You fail because you don't want to be uncomfortable long enough to win. You want success without sacrifice. You want results without discipline. You want respect without obsession. That's not how this works. Every level you want requires a version of you that you keep avoiding. And deep down, you know it. That's why this hurts. Part 3. While you wait, someone else is taking your pill. Let this mess with your head. Right now, someone with less talent than you is working harder than you. Someone with fewer resources than you is moving faster than you. Someone who was just as scared as you decided fear wasn't an excuse. And while you're waiting for confidence, they're stacking wins. While you're overthinking, they're executing. While you're saying one day, they're living the life you keep dreaming about. Life doesn't reward potential. IT rewards pressure. And pressure doesn't come from wishing to. IT comes from showing up when it's uncomfortable. Part 4. You keep saying you'll change. But you don't. Be honest. How many times have you promised yourself this is the year? How many Mondays did you restart? How many nights did you say tomorrow? You don't need another promise. You need accountability, because right now, your words mean nothing. Your actions have been speaking for years, and they're saying, I choose easy. I choose safe. I choose average. That's not a motivation problem, that's a character problem. And until you fix that, no book, no video, no speaker will save you. Part 5. Fear is running your life, and you're letting you're afraid of failing, afraid of looking stupid, afraid of being judged so you play small. Stay quiet, stay hidden. But let me tell you something brutal. People are already judging you, that they're judging your lack of progress. Your excuses, your wasted potential. You don't avoid judgment by staying small. You just guarantee regret. And regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches. Regret eats you alive at night. Part 6. Read this info. One day isn't coming. There's only now, and the consequences of ignoring it. That if you keep waiting, life will decide for you. And life is ruthless with people who hesitate. Here's the command. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop protecting a comfort that's destroying you. Move now. Not loud. Not perfect. Not confident, just disciplined. Part 2. You don't have a time problem. You have a honesty problem. Let's strip the lie. You keep saying you don't have time. That's garbage. You have time for scrolling, time for distractions, time for comfort that doesn't challenge you. You don't lack time. You lack priority, because when something actually matters to you, you don't negotiate. You don't delay. You don't need motivation. You move, and the reason you haven't moved is because deep down, you're still protecting a version of yourself that hasn't earned protection, that you're loyal to your old habits, loyal to your excuses, loyal to staying liked instead of getting better. That loyalty is costing you your future. Let that sink in. You say you want more, but your schedule says you don't. You say you're hungry, but your effort says you're full. You say you're serious, but your actions say you're comfortable, and comfort is the enemy. Comfort doesn't scream that it whispers. Relax today. Start tomorrow. You deserve a break. And while you listen, your life stays the same. Here's the truth you avoid. If it mattered enough, you'd already be doing it and excuses that speeches that waiting. And that realization should make you uncomfortable. Good. Because discomfort is the signal that you're finally close to change. If this part is bothering you, that's not anger, that's guilt. And guilt is the sound of potential realizing it's been neglected. Stay with it. Don't run, because the next part is where excuses die. Part 3. While you wait, someone hungrier is taking your life. Read that again. While you hesitate, someone else is moving. Not smarter, not luckier, just hungrier. They don't overthink. They don't need approval. They don't need the perfect plan. They just decided they were done being broke, ignored, and average. And that decision separated them from you. Right now, there is a version of your life being lived by someone who refused to wait. That should scare you, because talent doesn't protect you. Potential doesn't protect you. Talking about what you could be doesn't protect you. Only execution does. You think you're behind? No, you're paused. And the world doesn't pause. Opportunities don't wait. Markets don't wait. Respect doesn't wait. You either move with urgency or you get replaced without ceremony. And warning and apology. Let me hit you with this. The people you envy were once just as unsure as you. They were scared too. They doubted themselves too. The difference? They didn't let fear sit in the driver's seat. You did. And every day you delay, fear gets stronger. Comfort gets louder. Your edge gets duller. This is where it gets personal. The gap between you and theme isn't talent, that it's tolerance. They tolerate pain. You avoid it. They tolerate embarrassment. You hide from it. They tolerate being misunderstood. You crave approval. And until that flips, nothing changes. Stay right here. Because the next part is where we rip apart the lie that you'll change someday. And you're not ready for that, but you need it. Part 4, you keep promising change, then protecting the same life. This is where the lie collapses. You don't lack information. You lack commitment. You already know what to do. Wake up earlier. Work when you don't feel like it. Cut the distractions. Stop negotiating with weakness, But every time it gets hard, you start explaining instead of executing. You call it burnout. It's avoidance. You call it waiting for clarity. It's fear. You call it self-care. It's comfort dressed up as maturity. And every explanation you mock is another brick in the cage you're living in. Look at your pattern. You get fired up. You swear this time is different. You post a quote. You tell people you're locked in, then reality shows up that it's boring, that it's lonely, that IT doesn't clap for you, so you quit quietly and convince yourself you'll restart later. Later never comes. Because later requires a version of you refuse to become. Let me say this clean. If your habits don't change, your future won't either. Not your words, not your intentions, not your mindset, your habits. And right now, your habits are loyal to the old you, the tired you, the distracted you, the you that wants results without pressure. That version has to die, not slowly, not politely, completely. This isn't about motivation. This is about whether you're willing to disappoint your comforto, finally respect yourself. Sit with that, because the next part is where fear gets exposed and there's nowhere left to hide. Part 5. Fear is your leader, and you keep following it. Let's stop pretending. Fear runs your schedule. Fear picks your goals. Fear tells you when to stop. You don't quit because you're tired. You quit because fear whispers, "What if this doesn't work?" So you pull back. You slow down. You stay reasonable. And reasonable is why your life feels small, that you're afraid to fail. Afraid to look stupid. Afraid people will see you try and not so you do nothing. Because doing nothing feels safer than trying and bleeding in public. But hear this. Playing safe is the most dangerous move you're making. Failure costs you pride. Safety costs you time. And time never comes back. People aren't judging you because you're trying. They're judging you because you're stuck. They rewatching you talk in, waiting to see if you ever move. And every year you don't, their doubts get louder. Not because they're cruel, but because you keep proving them right. That here's the punch you've been dodging. You'll be criticized either way. Fail loud or fail silently. Choose, because silence doesn't protect you, that IT just hides you from your potential. And one day, when it's too late to start, that fear you listen to will be the same thing that keeps you awake at night. Don't run. The final part is where excuses end and the line gets drawn. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. Part 6. There is no one day. There's only the bill. This is the line. Everything you delayed just sent you an invoice. Every excuse, every shortcut, every night you chose comfort over discipline. The bill is due, and life doesn't do payment plans. Look at where you are, not where you should be, not where you could have been, right here. This is the price off the choices you kept making. No villains and oh bad luck and oh conspiracy, just decisions. And that should hurt, because pain means you finally stopped lying. Here's the truth you can't escape. You don't drift into a great life. You attack your way into one. And attacks are violent. They're uncomfortable. They're lonely. That's why most people never do it. They'd rather complain than confront themselves. They'd rather talk about change than bleed for IT.so. This is the command. Not a suggestion, not a vibe. Not motivation, a command. Kill the one-day mindset. Kill the excuse. Kill the version of you that keeps choosing easy. Move before confidence. Work without applause. Suffer in silence. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. That IT only cares what you do. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. That I didn't come to hype you. That I came to corner you. Decide right now who's in control. Or your fear. Subscribe. Because average is no longer an option. Part 7. After this, you don't get to pretend over from this moment on. Ignorance is gone. You heard it. You felt it. You can't unknow. So if you go back to your old life after this, that's not confusion, but that's choice. You don't get to say nobody told me. You don't get to say I didn't know it would cost this much. I'm telling you right now that IT costs sleep, that IT costs comfort, that IT costs friends who don't understand you anymore, that IT costs versions of you that feel familiar but useless. And if that price scares you, good. That fear is the gate. Most people turn around right there. Here's what separates the few. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for support. They don't wait for confidence to show up first. They move ugly. They move early. They move alone. And while everyone else is debating, they're building. Something irreversible. Momentum. Once you have it, excuses sound stupid. Fear sounds small. Average feels insulting. Let me make this painfully clear. If your life looks the same 6 months from now, it won't be because you lacked resources. It'll be because you lacked respect for your own potential. And that's the hardest loss to live with. Because you'll know you betrayed yourself. So this is the final line. No hype. No music. No emotion. Decide what kind of pain you want. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Both hurt. One builds a life. The other destroys it quietly. Choose, then disappear into the work. Subscribe, because average is no longer an option. Hashtag part 8. This is where you draw blood or walk. And right here is the split. Most people quit after clarity, after the truth hits. After the fire fades, they go back to normal and call this a good video. That's why they stay stuck. If this ends as entertainment for you, you already lost. This wasn't made to be liked. That IT was made to mark you. Because once you see yourself clearly, there's no hiding behind confusion. Only action or cowardice. Let me tell you what winning actually looks like. That it's boring, that it's repetitive, that it's lonely. No music, no speeches, no hype. Just you doing the work when nobody's watching and nobody cares. That's the price. And if you're waiting for passion to save you, you don't want it bad enough. Passion shows up after discipline. Confidence shows up after proof. Belief shows up after results. You earn those. Here's the final reality check. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your standards. And your standards have been too low for too long. Too many passes. Too many just this once. Too many deals with weakness. That season is over. Or it should be. So don't clap. Don't comment. Don't feel inspired. Something uncomfortable. Asterisk today. Point 1 action. Point 1 sacrifice. Point 1 decision that burns the bridge back to average. Because if you don't, this moment will haunt you. And you'll remember this voice the day you realize you waited too long. Subscribe. Because average eyes no longer an option. Part 9. This is where most of you have not because it's hard, but because it's quiet now. Adrenaline. Yelling. Countdown. Just truth sitting in your chest. And this is where weak habits start whispering again. Relax. You already watched the video. You'll start tomorrow. That voice, that's the same voice that has kept you exactly where you are for years. Let me expose the real enemy, that it's not fear, that it's not doubt, that it's inconsistency. You don't lose because you can't go hard. You lose because you can't go long. You sprint for 3 days, then disappear for 3 weeks. You get emotional, then you get distracted. You don't need more intensity. You need standards you don't break. Winners aren't extreme, they're consistent to the point of boredom. And boredom is where discipline proves itself. That here's the uncomfortable math. Average effort times time equals regret. Relentless effort times time equals separation. There is no third option that you're either stacking proof or stacking excuses, and excuses don't compound. They just age badly. Let this hit you. Nobody is coming to check on your progress. Nobody is tracking your potential. Nobody cares how hard it is for you. The world only reacts when results show up. Until then, you're invisible, and invisibility is earned. Here's the final push of this part. Stop waiting to feel dangerous. Start acting dangerous. Wake up earlier than comfort allows. Work longer than motivation lasts. Hold standards even when nobody's watching. That's how lives change. Not dramatically. Relentlessly stay locked, because the next part is where identity gets burned down, and once that happens, there's no going back. Part 10. Burn the old version of YO. This is the part most people skip, because it hurts, because it demands sacrifice, because it forces you to look in the mirror and admit the version of you that exists today is not enough. Not enough money, not enough discipline, not enough grit, not enough courage. And if you keep protecting that version, it will protect failure instead of success. Here's the brutal truth. Your old habits will fight you. Your comfort will bite you. Your excuses will scream louder than ever. And the first time you face real pressure, that old version will beg you to quit. IT will tell you, you've done enough. You're tired. You'll get it next year. That's the lie. That's the poison. That's the reason your life is still the same. You have two choices. Keep running, keep hiding, keep one daying yourself to death. Burn it down. Every weak habit, every soft excuse, every safe choice, and burn it down completely. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because later is the reason you're average, and average kills silently. Here's how you do it. Wake up before your comfort allows. What scares you the most first. Show up when nobody is watching. Say no to anything that doesn't serve your new self. This is violent. This is uncomfortable. This is necessary. And it will hurt. But the new version of you will thank you every day. Because you can't build something extraordinary in a foundation that's still weak. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation. Corner. Burn. Build. Move. Subscribe. Because average is no longer an option.